Welcome to Herzing University online presentations. The topics covered in this presentation are the quadratic formula, the discriminant, and quadratic functions. All quadratic equations can be solved using the quadratic formula. The solutions of a quadratic equation in standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, with a not equal to 0, are given by the quadratic formula. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Let's look at some examples. Example 1. Solve using the quadratic formula. 5x squared plus 8x plus 3 equals 0. This equation is already in standard form, so we can identify our constants. A equals 5, b equals 8, and c equals 3. Substitute our values into the quadratic formula, and the result is x equals negative 8 plus or minus the square root of 8 squared minus 4 times 5 times 3 divided by 2 times 5. Simplifying, we get x equals negative 8 plus or minus the square root of 64 minus 60 divided by 10, which equals negative 8 plus or minus the square root of 4 divided by 10, which equals negative 8 plus or minus 2 over 10. Factor out 2 from the numerator and denominator, and the result is x equals negative 4 plus or minus 1 over 5. The solutions are x equals negative 4 plus 1 over 5, which reduces to negative 3 over 5, or x equals negative 4 minus 1 over 5, which equals negative 5 divided by 5, which simplifies to negative 1. The solution set is negative 3 over 5 and 1. Example 2. Solve using the quadratic formula. 2x squared equals negative 4x plus 5. This equation must be put in standard form. Add 4x to both sides. 2x squared plus 4x equals negative 4x plus 4x plus 5. Simplify 2x squared plus 4x equals 5. Subtract 5 from both sides. 2x squared plus 4x minus 5 equals 5 minus 5, which simplifies to 2x squared plus 4x minus 5 equals 0. Now we can identify the constants. A equals 2, b equals 4, and c equals negative 5. Substituting our values into the quadratic formula, x equals negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 4 squared minus 4 times 2 times negative 5 divided by 2 times 2. Simplify, x equals negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 16 plus 40 over 4, which equals negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 56 over 4. We can rewrite this as negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 4 times 14 over 4, which equals negative 4 plus or minus 2 times the square root of 14 over 4. Divide the numerator and denominator by 2. The result is negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 14 over 2. Therefore, the solution set is negative 2 plus the square root of 14 over 2, negative 2 minus the square root of 14 over 2. The discriminant is the quantity b squared minus 4ac, which appears under the radical sign in the quadratic formula. The discriminant can be used to determine the number and type of solutions of a quadratic equation. If b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0, then the solutions to the quadratic equation will be two unequal real solutions. If b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, then the solution will be one solution, a repeated solution that is a real number. If b squared minus 4ac is less than 0, then the solutions will be two imaginary solutions. These solutions would be called complex conjugates. For each equation, compute the discriminant b squared minus 4ac, then determine the number and type of solutions. Example 3. 2x squared minus 4x plus 3 equals 0. A equals 2, b equals negative 4, c equals 3. Substitute and compute the discriminant. Negative 4 squared minus 4 times 2 times 3 is equal to 16 minus 24, which equals negative 8. The discriminant is negative 8, therefore there are two imaginary solutions. Example 4. X squared plus 8x minus 5 equals 0. A equals 1, b equals 8, and c equals 5. Substitute and compute the discriminant. 8 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 5 equals 64 plus 20, which is equal to 84. The discriminant is 84, therefore there are two real solutions. Example 5. 4x squared equals 20x minus 25. We have to put this into standard form. 4x squared minus 20x plus 25 equals 0. A equals 4, b equals negative 20, c equals 25. Substitute and compute the discriminant. Negative 20 squared minus 4 times 25 equals 400 minus 200, which is equal to 200. The discriminant is 200, therefore there are two real solutions. The graph of any quadratic function f of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c, where a does not equal 0, is called a parabola. Parabolas are shaped like bowls or upside-down bowls. If the coefficient of x squared is positive, the parabola opens upward. If the coefficient of x squared is negative, the parabola opens downward. The vertex or the turning point of a parabola is the lowest point on the graph when it opens upward, and the highest point on the graph when it opens downward. The two halves of a parabola are mirror images of each other. The line that runs through the vertex is called the axis of symmetry, and that divides the parabola in half. This is a graph of a quadratic function f of x equals x squared minus 4x plus 4. The coefficient of the x squared term is positive, so the parabola opens upward. The vertex is at the point 2, 0, and the axis of symmetry is the line x equals 2. The axis of symmetry runs right through the vertex, and you will see the two halves are mirror images of each other. This concludes our presentation on the quadratic formula.